Hi, welcome to RC Pi. Today we're going to have a look at the MN model MN-99Sa Land Rover, or so-called Land Rover. It's a ready-to-run 1/12 scale crawler. You get everything in the box apart from the batteries for the controller. So what's it made of? Well, you're not expecting the world at this sort of price. These come in at about £50 to £70, which is about $70 to $95. Get them on Aliexpress from loads of different sellers on there, or from Banggood. I'll put a couple of links underneath. And you've got what you'd expect. You've got your metal ladder chassis. Most of the components are a fairly cheap sort of grade of plastic, pretty much toy grade, but the actual workings are a bit better than toy grade, not the sort of cheapo suspension setup that you'd expect on something else. So it calls itself a crawler. I was wondering just how good is it. I've had it out in the forest a few times, gone for a couple of runs, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot more capable than I'd expected. But what I'm thinking is, how can you upgrade it? I know that these things are pretty big out in East Asia, quite a following there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the stock unit to what you can do once you've upgraded it with some of the extra parts. So let's see how it goes out in the back garden.
As you can see, the suspension's a little bit bouncy, but it's got quite a nice pace about it, quite nice to drive for that sort of running. Now, on the bit of a rock course that we put together, it's showing that the biggest issue really is that the proportional speed control isn't quite smooth enough. So trying to get that gradual movement, trying to get that slow movement to get over obstacles is a bit tricky. Combined with the relatively low torque on the motor, it just means you've got to be reversing and giving it a bit more to try and get over obstacles. And a bit of an issue with not having quite enough weight in the chassis is that you're just not getting the traction, you're not getting the compression and the suspension in the right places. You know, it's not evening out its weight quite enough. But all the same, still doing remarkably well. It impressed me here, and it impressed me out in the woods with just what it could manage for a 50 to 70 pound vehicle. It's really quite impressive. Things like this, you're struggling a bit with the breakover angle, and then you can see no brake down there. Nothing to really slow it down, it just goes for it down the hills. But overall, not doing too badly. One of the issues with hardly any weight in the chassis is that it is quite top heavy, and whilst recording these runs, it did tip over quite a few times, so you're getting the best of it here. But you saw there, it can tip over easily. Getting up slopes like this, again, because there's no weight on the front tyres have got no traction, and then you're seeing the issue there with the lack of breakover. But you're going to struggle with that with most trucks. Lack of weight, making it suffer again there.
There you go. Probably drove a bit better than expected, and for under $100, 50 to 75 quid sort of mark, you're getting quite a capable little starter truck. If you're just entering into the world of crawling and trail running, then it's not a bad way to go. The clear weaknesses with it are it's a bit top heavy because there's not really any weight in that running gear. The motor is a little weak. It's nice speed, but it's a little weak, and the speed controller is a bit tricky to drive in, you know, a slow, controlled manner. But other than that, it's not bad at all. It's not a bad starting point, and I'd highly recommend these to anybody who either wants a nice scale-looking truck or just wants a cheap entry. And as we'll see in the next episode, there's plenty that you can put into these to improve them. So we're going to be having a look at what upgrades are available and what sort of difference those make. So keep watching, and see you next time on RC Pi.